Hello, welcome to Octagon Garage. My name is Robert, and today I'm working on this seat frame for the MGC. They're ready to get ready to reupholster it, but I want to get new seat rails because the rails are bent up. And the bolts, it's like a big Phillips type screw that's recessed in here with a nut. It's a, what was it again? 7/16 Nylox lock nut. Well, over the years they get rusted, and so these are just spinning. So I thought this would be the perfect time to give you an update, or actually, I don't think I've said anything about this tool, but it's an induction heater called the Hot Rod. There's all kinds of other various brands. They're all kind of the same. The foreign made ones that come out of China. Let's see. Here's the box. I ain't gonna bore you with an unboxing video. But here you go. There's the box. 120 volt or 230 volt, depending upon your needs. There are some American-made ones, but they are going to be in about the $300-400 range. I believe this was $2-something. This was about half the price. I've never used one before. I've had this one now for about 6 months, maybe 8 months, somewhere around there. And I used it on exhaust manifold bolts, the studs to remove the nuts off of the, I was doing some exhaust work on the Suburban. And I'm not the best with a torch, nor do I have a torch to heat them up. So getting something like this, where it uses induction heat, you can get it in a small localized spot. You don't have to worry about catching other things on fire as much, flame shooting past and catching wiring or insulation or scorching paint or catching grease on fire, that kind of thing. So this is a pretty cool deal. I used it on all the nuts. I had 3 of them on each side for each side of the V8, and it worked great. And you know what'll happen if you decide to put an impact on that. If it doesn't strip it out, it'll break it off. Exhaust manifold bolts and that kind of thing, man, you got to be careful with them. Otherwise, yeah, lots of headaches getting the broken bolt out, or replacing the stud in the exhaust manifold, which has been fused in there since the beginning of time. Anyway, so I'm going to try this out. It worked great before. Probably say, oh, you're a liar now. It won't work. Be my luck. But, real quickly, it has replaceable tips, so you can get different diameters for different bolts or whatever you're trying to heat up to remove. You can get this around an O2 sensor, let's say. You got an O2 sensor is bad, you can cut the wires off, stick this over that, and then and heat it up, and it works really well for that. They also offer different, all different kinds of coils and things you can get aftermarket and order online. Amazon's got a lot of this stuff. eBay's also got a lot of this stuff. And then you just tighten or loosen the nuts, and you can remove it, and it comes out. You want to make sure these are really tight. I made that mistake once, and it started arcing on me. I just tightened it up and fixed it. It also has a LED light on the end. Almost forgot about that. And you can bend these, so you can bend it to whatever configuration you need. There's also one that they make where it's like a rope, and you plug it in, and you can wrap it around something and then plug it in and use it to heat something up that's an odd size, or whatever you happen to be working on. The only thing I noticed is it's got some sort of a heat resistant insulation on this, and once it heats up and you just barely bump it into something, it just turns into powder and it flakes off, but it still seems to work. So we'll see how well that works. So anyway, I'm going to plug this in. It's going to make a little racket because it's got a fan and all. And we'll give her a try. Hopefully you guys can see well. Yeah, I think so. So the fan comes on, and it just has a button right here. Look at the smoke coming off of that. Like within seconds, it starts heating this thing up. What was that? 15, 20 seconds, glowing red hot. Now, we can take our wrench. The plastic on the Nylox nut is smoking. And it comes right out. So when you're done using it, you'd want it to run for just a little bit to let it cool the circuitry down in the tool. But it's amazing. I like this thing. It heats it up right now, and it works really well. Now, I was out in the drive in front of the shop with the Suburban over the summertime installing a new exhaust, and it specifically says in the directions, I don't know, I must not put it back in the box. Anyway, it specifically says in the directions to, if you're going to use an extension cord, use a heavy gauge extension cord and keep it less than, I think it was 20 feet or 25 feet or something, to reduce on amperage drop and that kind of thing. They say ideally it's best to plug it in directly into the wall. It's got a cord that's about 6 feet long. So I didn't have a long enough cord that was a heavy gauge, so I just took my 50-footer and plugged it in, and you know, it worked great. No problems. I will say though, it does heat up faster if you have it directly plugged into the outlet on the wall. So but just wanted to give you guys a quick little tech tip thing, and you know, a little review. I bought it with my own money. They didn't ask me to do this, but it's just something, you know, this thing's a game changer. It really works really well. So if you have things like this where, you know, you're in tight quarters and you're worried about catching things on fire or melting stuff, this works really well. At least this one does. It's 10 amps. And I want to say it's 1,000 watts. 1,000 or 1,200 watts, somewhere around there. You can get different ones with different wattages. Offhand, I don't remember the name of the company that makes them. There's two companies that make them here in the United States, and I want to say they got one that's 1,500 or 1,800. It's way up there. Better have some good circuitry when you plug it in. And these are 20 amp outlets out here, so I don't have to worry about that. But something like that, if you're running a 15 amp outlet, you'll be pushing the breaker there. So, but anyway, that, you know, there's the other side of the label on that. So anyhow, till next time, you have a good day. Bye-bye.